Welcome back to BLOCKTV. It's the time of the day for Blockheads. Now every day we round up the top headlines from around the cryptosphere, and to do that today we're joined by our very own Yona Hochhauser. Yona, what's making headlines today?
Thanks, Ron. Good to be here. Well, first up, we have Reuters reporting China says it wants to eliminate Bitcoin mining. Cointelegraph reports Canadian crypto exchange QuadrigaCX officially declared bankruptcy, finally. Coindesk reports GM and BMW back blockchain data sharing for self-driving cars. Crypto Insider reports Facebook crypto asset looks for VC firms for investment. And Bitcoinist reports here's how much Bitcoin countries need to replace their gold reserves. And Coindesk reports Coinbase Pro lists EOS, augurs REP, and makers DAO MKR tokens.
All right, so let's look right into it. That pretty significant story out of China by Reuters.
Exactly. So there's a report by Reuters that the ruling party in China, the NDRC, they keep a list of industries that they want to encourage or eliminate or restrict, kind of up to them in that country. And so on that list, they currently have about 450 different industries on it. And now they report they want to add Bitcoin to it, or at least
Bitcoin mining, right.
Right. So the reasons they claim that mining they want to limit is because they say, quote, it does not adhere to relevant laws and regulations, unsafe, wasted resources, or polluting the environment, which is interesting because China is one of the biggest polluters of the environment in the world, but maybe they're trying to cut that back. This might have a massive effect on both the mining power as well as the mining equipment, because China holds a very large portion of the hash power, especially for Bitcoin, amongst other coins, as well as they host the largest manufacturers of Bitcoin mining, Bitmain, amongst many others as well. So if this passes, it would be interesting to see also what happens to the mining equipment companies. Maybe they'll still be allowed to produce those, but as of yet, it's unclear.
Yeah, no, it's an important, interesting development. I mean, like you said, China is the world leader in where crypto mining takes place. There was this whole back in the beginning of crypto winter, there was discussion about the prices. We call it the Bitcoin mining death spiral, and that the prices of Bitcoin was no longer worthwhile to mine it. Then there was now the price is back up, and there was this whole kind of narrative going that with the rain season and temperatures dropping, and there's going to be more resources, so mining is going to be back up. This could have a major impact on mining, and then that'll trickle down possibly to price. So definitely something to look out for. And as China does, I mean, they can make this decision, and then starting, boom, a certain date, that's it. No more crypto mining in China. They haven't done that quite yet, though.
Right. No. So this is they're attempting to get this on the list. Interestingly, the reason we know this is because they actually put out for public opinion. Right. They want to hear what the public has to say about this.
Sure, they do.
But more the trickle down effect is that not only does mining for the blockchain, especially Bitcoin and many other coins, the mining is what secures the network. So the less hash power, the less secure. We'll see how that affects Bitcoin and many other coins.
And seeing how that might affect the price going forward. Anyways, Reuters breaking that news. Let's move on.
All right, well, next up, Cointelegraph reports how finally, the saga's over. The Canadian crypto exchange QuadrigaCX has officially declared bankruptcy. We've been hearing about this, for really months now, and it really was a fascinating story. It took all sorts of turns, but the courts officially have granted them bankruptcy. Now, the exchange still owes over about $195 million to over 115,000 customers. So, while this is, the ending of the story for some of us, it's, still it remains open to all these customers, who really, they lost all their money there. So now Jennifer Robinson, the wife of Quadriga's, the late co-founder Gerald Cotton, who's the one who stored all the cold wallets, and there's that story
didn't pass on the information.
Was there even cold wallets that even ever have the money? So she's the inheritor of his estate, and the court put a lien on the estate, and she's not allowed to sell or move any of its assets until they figure out what to do with them and whether to pay back the customers.
So that means the customers are shit out of luck, so not to put too fine a point on it, by court decree.
Right. I mean, unless magically, cold wallets appear out of nowhere, the state does not have the money to cover all those customers. So, we'll see how the court decides to structure it, how to pay back the customers. See how this moves going forward. Once again, this is a valuable lesson to people who either want to put their money into exchange and for exchange runners. Personally, my opinion, not your keys, not your crypto. You don't want to have someone else controlling your funds. That's the whole point of cryptocurrency. If you're going to give it to an exchange to hold, put it in a bank. They're holding it anyway.
Right. So yeah, this is kind of like the worst case scenario. You could, if you go down that path, hopefully we'll be able to figure it out quickly. Let's go on to the next story by CoinDesk.
Right. So finally, some good news. So CoinDesk is reporting how GM and BMW are backing blockchain data sharing for self-driving cars. So self-driving cars is all about data. I mean, isn't life right now all about data?
Appears to be.
Exactly. So the way that self-driving cars work is that it collects all the data from previous drives and then combines it with machine learning to decide how to drive going forwards. Now, up until now, companies have been hoarding that precious data because that's what gives them the value. Now, because of blockchain, it's opened up the opportunity for them to share this data with both anonymously and with the ability to know that no one's fudging the data, to know that no one's going to be able to do anything with the data that they don't want them to do.
Hopefully, not being able to hack into the data as well.
Exactly. So this is giving them a secure, easy, and efficient way for them to share the data on the blockchain. So GM and BMW are teaming up now to be able to initiate this project, and this will really speed up the integration and the putting of autonomous vehicles on the road. And this could be a major use case for blockchain, especially in the public's eye. If the public sees, hey, these big companies are getting involved, and this is what's enabling self-driving cars powered by the blockchain. If you're gonna trust your life in the hands of a car powered by the blockchain, it will more likely open up your willingness and ability to use the blockchain for other things.
Excellent point. And General Motors, BMW, household names. Always good to have them riding on your coattails. Moving on, Crypto Insider.
Right. So Crypto Insider has reported how Facebook, the crypto asset, is looking for investment from VC firms. Right. So according to this report, Facebook is looking to raise about $1 billion for their upcoming coin from VC firms. Now you might be asking yourself, why is Bitcoin looking to raise money? As of now, they have about $45 billion of cash on hand. Right. Cash. And that's liquid. So why are they looking outside to raise $1 billion? So, different people have different theories, but the most prevalent one seems to be they're looking to seem more decentralized. They don't want to be.
They want the appearance.
They want to seem, being the key word, especially when you're dealing with cryptocurrencies and coins. They want to seem, especially they learned their lesson from a lot of hate they're getting in regards to how they've been dealing with content on their site. Right. And they realize that, hey, maybe some things we shouldn't take full responsibility for because there's just too much for us to handle. So if they want to seem decentralized this way, hey, the coin, it's not just us. If something goes wrong, don't blame only us. And others are saying, that they want to use the money as collateral for the coin because the coin is reportedly going to be pegged to real value behind it. So
stable coin.
A stable coin, as we like to say.
All right, interesting. And it's important to note that the original reporting was done by the New York Times' Nathaniel Popper. Yeah. He seems to have an in Facebook. Hey, Facebook, give us some love too. I said, I don't know what he's doing to get all these inside scoops, but he's clearly doing something right. He's the one who broke the story on his Twitter account. All right, excellent stuff. Moving on.
All right, well, Bitcoinist is reporting so a little interesting thought experiment. They decided to figure out how much Bitcoin countries need to replace their gold reserves. People are saying Bitcoin might be the new gold.
Substitute,
they took it to the extreme and they sat down, they did the calculations to see how much Bitcoin it would actually take to replace these gold reserves. And for example, USA decided 913,388 Bitcoin, Germany 378,416 Bitcoin, Russia has over 200,000, would need 200,000 Bitcoin, just to name a few. The reason that Bitcoin has always been linked, kind of to gold, is it as good as gold? Is it the new gold? Is because they're both could be used as stores of value, and really they do have certain use cases, but especially mostly used for long-term store of value. Now, the case for Bitcoin replacing gold was only strengthened, recently. There's been a bunch of different occurrences. Bank of England refused last month or 2 months ago, I believe, was to release Venezuela's gold to Maduro, the controversial leader of that country. And once again, that's the classic old saying, not your keys, not your gold.
That's a variation.
I guess it works for theirs. If the Bank of England's holding your gold and they don't want to give it to you, they're not going to give it to you. And so the case with Bitcoin being, hey, once you own your keys, no one could say no to you. No one could delist you or anything.
For better or worse.
For better or worse. I think, in this case, maybe Bank of England had some good things to do here, but at the end of the day, if you believe in a free market, and a lot of crypto lovers do, and that's what drew them to this, so that external factors cannot dictate or control the market. This is another case.
I don't know if this is an urban legend or not, but the saying goes that if you took all the gold in the world, it would fit into Olympic-sized swimming pool. In the case of Bitcoin, you don't need a pool.
Right. Well, yeah, I think if you took all the Bitcoin in the world, it would fit onto a very intense USB drive.
All right. Let's go on Coinbase news.
Right. Coinbase news. So Coinbase Pro has officially agreed to list EOS, Ogre's REP, and Maker's DAO MKR token. So, this is coming right after they started listing XRP 2 months ago and Stellar last month. They're going to start listing these coins as well, and like they've been doing until now, and very smartly, though it's been coming in steps. First, you're going to only be able to deposit the coins, and then later on, you'll be able to place limit orders, and then eventually market orders and full trading. And then, this comes after, like I said, they've been making it a goal to start listing more and more assets on their platform. They say that this is the most common request they have from customers, is that they want more assets to trade. Coinbase is actually, in my mind, doing really good. Definitely compared to QuadrigaCX.
Yeah.
They're listening to their customers. They have some controversies, but for the most part, you could trust. You could, as much as you could trust an exchange. In my view.
Right.
You could trust.
You could do worse than
exactly.
Coinbase.
They have enough trading on their platform, which once again, who could trust the volumes, but they have enough that they're incentivized to continue, to kind of keep things clean. And it's good to see that that they are taking it seriously. They do have the OTC trading. They do have the cold storage custody. So once again, I'm not the most pro exchange person in the world. But it is kind of nice to see good news from exchanges every once in a while, and hopefully there will be a positive influence on other exchanges going forwards.
Right, and if we're already ranking or categorizing exchanges, Coinbase Pro is usually considered one of the top ones, and in Bitwise report to the SEC, it was kind of on. If we're looking at two-tier systems, two-tier categories of exchanges, I think you put Coinbase on the whitelist, and as it trades more assets, that just does more good. Is that all we have for today?
That's all we have for today, but I'll be sure to keep you posted. Make sure to check us out at BLOCKTV. If anything happens, we got Telegram, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and we'll see you tomorrow.